really like changing up my background a little bit in case you couldn't really tell. Gets me creative, gives you something new to look at. Um, it's my home gym this time. For as much as I really want to do an outside location, it's kind of windy outside, and I don't really have time to wait for it to stop being windy. So I'm doing it here right now. Live action remake, or live action adaptation. Honestly, even the word adaptation probably scares a lot of fans. What could that really mean? Could they do an absolutely good job where they can start making more seasons? Or are they going to do a bad job where you start banging your head on the door, wondering what the writers were even thinking about? My notes are technically my script, kind of keeps me on a guideline. Percy Jackson. I thought the movie was fine. They certainly changed a lot of things from the books. Why did they change so much? Creative decision, or in other words, they didn't like how the book went, so they made their own thing. And honestly, they did kind of fine with it. I thought as a movie it was fine. Wasn't the best, but things certainly happened. Uh, that was a live action adaptation. And this is a live action remake of that adaptation. And it was supposed to be a lot more faithful to the books. And for the most part, pretty much was. Uh, for the least amount of the part, kind of wasn't. I wouldn't be making this video if it wasn't. So, yeah, I guess we should kind of get into it. Before we really get into the characters, should probably do a plot synopsis first. Y'all might think I didn't do a plot synopsis in the last video, but I technically did. Everything you see in that video is technically what happened in the movie. Percy Jackson is a 12-year-old boy in Yancey Middle School, where strange things start happening to him, both from his own hands and from around him. Pretty soon, his mom takes him to Montauk, where she tells him the truth.
Gods, and sometimes they are known as half-bloods.
That's what the monster called me.
And they get chased by a Minotaur. She ends up dying, not until Percy ends up killing the Minotaur as revenge. He wakes up in a mysterious place called Camp Half-Blood. He's shown around.
A Greek god of disappointment? Maybe someone should ask him if he's missing a kid.
Oasis. But she's a goddess. And her whole thing isn't really disappointment, it's more like failure.
Alright, that's enough of that. Let's start the quest. He meets the Oracle, who's a hippie.
Hi, I'm Percy.
That's just how this world works, okay? He ends up going on a quest with 3 friends, and one of them hates him.
Even Thalia. And you are not Thalia. Do exactly as I say, and maybe you survive this.
They end up going on weird adventures just to get into Los Angeles. Why do they need to get to Los Angeles? They need to get to the underworld. It's really that simple. Percy doesn't even really go to the underworld to complete the quest. He mostly just goes because he thinks he can save his mom there. Oh wait, hold on. What exactly is the book exactly about? Zeus ends up blaming a 12-year-old who has no idea about any of this is going on. He doesn't even think the gods are real. Poseidon blames his own brother, Hades, for stealing the Master Bolt. So now that it's up to this 12-year-old to put together their shenanigans and quit their lollygagging. He discovers the Master Bolt. He was tricked. Challenges Ares for the Helm of Darkness. He beats him. Everything goes back to normal. I guess we should start with the actors. Starting with Percy Jackson. This one's played by Walker Scobell.
The most powerful being in the universe's best idea to save his daughter's life was to turn her into a tree?
He certainly plays Percy differently. He's a lot better than the movie adaptation. That's all I really gotta say. More sassy. Definitely more like Percy. And also, if you're really gonna watch this show, I wouldn't expect professional acting. These are 12-year-olds after all. So I don't really have anything to say. He's sassy. He's impermanent. I think I said that word right. He's just Percy. He feels a lot more like Percy than he ever did in the movie. Grover in this Grover in this show is played by Aryan Samhadri.
Oh golly, the road's getting bumpy 'cause I got me some friends who just can't get along. Oh dear, when the team's getting grumpy, the trick to getting through it is singing this
Dude,
song.
what are you doing?
This one feels a lot more like Grover, in my opinion. Way more than the movie. The movie didn't even really try, if I'm being honest. Annabeth is played by Leia Sava Jeffries. Why did I stutter?
Super grouchy when he doesn't get enough sleep.
He's super grouchy when he doesn't get enough. Yeah.
You'd never been on a boat with him before. A little different than Foofy boarding school.
Who's Froofy? You're Froofy. What's Froofy?
So, yeah, she feels like Annabeth. I don't know if it's really the acting or the tone she just uses for her acting. For some reason, this Annabeth sounds kind of condescending. That could just be the acting style of Leia. I'm not really trying to blame her. These are 12-year-olds. They don't really know how to act properly. Let's start talking about the show. AKA a lot of the things they changed and a lot of things that were actually from the books. And we can see Gabe in this one. Oh, Gabe. I hate this one.
Gabe?
I don't know how anyone expects me to get any work done.
Percy and
The best way I can explain Gabe here is just like a watered down Starscream from Transformers, if I'm really being honest.
Our clever leader doesn't know what it does.
Just kind of a little goblin who wants control, but can't really get it, because the second Megatron shows up, he just kind of cowers. That's kind of who he is. It's kind of what this Gabe is like. I guess this clip also kind of proves how much of a pushover he is.
Make sure they put the hot peppers on my sandwich,
not
please.
if you're gonna ask like that.
I said please. Please, could you have them put the peppers on my sandwich?
You got it.
At least Gabe in the movie, he was kind of an asshole. He was kind of someone you wouldn't really want to root for. That's kind of the point. Made it a lot more easier to kind of hate him. Sally here actually does feel like a character. She actually feels like Percy's mom. I didn't really mention this in the movie review, but Sally in the movie was so kind of useless. She didn't really do anything. She was kind of just the damsel in distress, if I'm really being honest. Not really all that useful. Just constantly just in the background and just can't really seem to get very far. Sally here just kind of feels like a character. She just feels more like Sally. Just feels like Percy's mom, if I'm really being honest. He wakes up, doesn't really trust Grover anymore. He walks outside, and we get to see Mr. Dionysus, or Mr. D, the god of wine. Wait a minute, he's actually here this time?
Peter Johnson is here.
Yeah, I kind of forgot to mention this, but in the movie adaptation, he didn't even show up once. He wasn't even there. He's here now. Boy, do I love him.
Mr. D, this is Percy Jackson.
Yeah, Grover. I heard him the first time.
But did you?
You're still here.
Okay, for those of you who are not staying for the full term, get out!
He wasn't really all that useful in the books. I guess he did save Percy that one time in the third one. He's really not that useful. He's just kind of there, just a god. But he is very funny. I really do like him. He's one of my favorite characters. Then we get Mr. Bruner.
You're ready to hear what the gods have in store for you? They'll tell you. I believe in you.
We get Chiron here, and he's a little different. Like, a little different here, if I'm really being honest. Chiron in the original, he kind of wore that Greek armor sort of thing, showing his muscles and all that kind of stuff. Actually kind of made him look like a warrior. Kind of looks like a trainer. Just kind of looks like someone who would teach you how to, fight. Chiron here just kind of... Chiron here just feels a bit more formal, a bit more sincere. Just kind of like that. Wears a suit, which is kind of odd to look at. He's a little bit more like Percy's grandpa. Closest thing to a father figure he's ever going to get. Because, Poseidon kind of abandoned him. However, both these Chirons are actually unique in their own ways. I like them. I think they're fine. But they're not really how I expected Chiron to really be like, if I'm really being honest. This is really weird, but cue the clip.
Who would you be without me, Prime? Time to find out.
Optimus, you want to see something funny?
No.
Yep. Good old Optimus Prime. That's exactly what I kind of thought of when it came to Chiron. More specifically, a watered down Prime. Not even that Prime. Not even the Bayverse Prime. Mostly the Optimus from Transformers Prime. Just a battle-hardened warrior who also takes the chance to be fatherly.
No.
He really cares about his kids.
No.
That's all I really gotta say. That's just what I expected Chiron to be. So, yeah, there's that. Luke here really does feel like Luke, in my opinion. Yeah, Luke feels like Luke. That's all I really gotta say. They play Capture the Flag. Finally get to see the invisible cap. Clarice doesn't even play the game. Texts Percy. Percy breaks the staff. Annabeth pushes him into the lake. He's claimed by Poseidon. That's episode 2. And then they kind of go on their journey. They take the bus. The bus hasn't really left yet. The Furies attack. In the book, however, the bus is driving. What's going on? Annabeth gives him her invisible cap. He goes to the front, flips the bus. They all escape. And then they walk through the forest. Annabeth and Percy are the ones that smell burgers and food and start following the scent, with Grover hesitantly coming behind them. And they take some kind of a bit to figure out that they're in Medusa's lair. But they do figure it out. Nope, not in the show. In the show, Electo, which is one of the Furies, kind of follows them. And when they come across Medusa's lair, they immediately know who it is. They immediately know where they are. Percy ends up trusting his instincts because his mom told him something. Trusts his mom. And they all kind of follow him. I suppose the rest kind of goes the same. They use the head of Medusa against Electo. And then they escape. They also ship the head to Olympus. In both the show and the book. Episode 4. This happens in the beginning of one of the chapters. But they return a dog. And they use that money for the lost dog for train tickets. Yes, that does happen. Even the dog talks to him, which is really weird, if I'm being honest. Turn the dog, but here they just have money already, $200 in fact. So they use that to get train tickets. The Mother of Monsters is here for some reason, on the train. Poisons Percy. They have to leave. Annabeth, what was it? Oh, they go to Athena's shrine thing. I don't remember what it's called. It's the Arch. They go there. But in the books, however, this is where the architect love kind of comes from. Annabeth wants to go see the Arch. Percy is left out alone up there. Then the monster attacks. That's how it goes in the books. It's kind of boring. I thought this was pretty funny. They wash Percy in the fountain because they think water heals him. It did in that one episode. Why not here? Probably because it's not natural moving water. The Echidna, or I guess that's her name, Echidna, I think that's her name, is allowed in because of the consequences of the last episode by shipping the head of Medusa straight to Olympus. Now Athena's embarrassed. So now she decides to kill her kid because of it. What the hell? Same thing kind of happens as in the books, except for the fact that Percy isn't really poisoned. But yeah, that happens. The Fates show up. Why are they here? Doesn't matter. Ares is finally here. Ares actually does a clever thing in the show. He does the same thing as he did in the book. He kind of sends them on their own little quest to get his shield back. But all 3 of them went. But in the show, he actually decides to keep Grover with him. Really to make sure that Annabeth and Percy come back. Because they know they're not going to just abandon their friend. I think it's kind of funny that in the book, they just kind of go with it. This actually makes a little bit more sense. Hephaestus sends out robot spiders to attack them. In the book. It's kind of odd, but okay. Percy has to sit on a golden chair. He ends up dying, I think. I don't know, gold kind of covers him. He can't really breathe. Hephaestus shows up, Annabeth gives him a little speech, and then he frees Percy. And then they go into the back of a zoo truck.
Get in. Don't. I really don't care.
Alright, episode 6. They use a prism instead of the usual golden drachmas they use against, like, a spray of water. It creates a rainbow. They pray to whoever the goddess of rainbows is. I think the prism idea works a little bit better because it's just rainbow, prism. It's a lot more portable, a bit more accessible, a lot easier to call someone. I think it makes sense. It just does. Actually, in the books, they first call Luke in a car wash. Yeah, Hermes is in the Lotus Casino. Why is he here? I don't know.
Hey, demigods, welcome.
Wait, isn't that Hamilton? Why is Hamilton in this?
When I got sort of out of sorts with a buddy of yours, I may have punched him. It's a blur, sir. He handles the financials.
You punched the bursar?
Yes.
He cares about Luke and does seem worried about him. He really does in the show and in the books. He really does care about him.
Friends of Luke's.
Yeah. Okay.
Annabeth swipes his keys, but he already knows that. So they end up driving his car to Los Angeles. Percy decides to take a little swim, collects the 4 pearls his father gave him. Woo! Episode 7. Oh my gosh, episode 7. They have a fight with Krusty. What actually happens in the book is that they actually walk through a couple of alleyways. Krusty captures Annabeth and Grover, with Percy trapping him and cutting off his limbs. What the heck? In the book, they have to deal with a dead receptionist who doesn't get paid enough, so they pay him, and then he lets them through. And they try to get through a couple of people. Cerberus shows up, Annabeth uses the ball to play and distract him, so they can pass forward. In the show, they walk through the door and reach a group of dead people, try to pay Drachma to get through, but the guy calls for Cerberus. Annabeth scratches his neck just to distract him. Percy Grover fly high, and Annabeth is there. Grover lost his pearl, which means now they're stuck with 3. They reach a forest of Astrodol, and Annabeth gets caught in the root of regrets. That's not great. Now they're in sand dunes. Sure hope a sandworm doesn't show up or anything. How are they gonna beat that? I kind of want to see that. A sandworm versus Percy Jackson. There's no water around. That kid's gonna get killed. Okay, they actually do get close to Tartarus, and because Grover is wearing the shoes Luke actually gave him, I think I forgot to mention that, Luke gave him shoes of Hermes. Well, I'll mention it here now. And after they save him, this is kind of where they learn that, oh shit, the bag Ares gave them actually has the lightning bolt.
I mean, it looks like...
It absolutely is not.
Okay. So, what is it then?
In the book, all 3 of them were actually together. Annabeth wasn't left behind. Hades has them surrounded by dead soldiers, ready to attack. In the book.
Hey, fellas. Welcome. Sorry about all the... Oh. Anyways, it's great to meet you. I know who you are, and you know who I am, so we can just skip right past that part. Can I get you anything? Juice, a snack?
Hades here is just kind of a guy. He's actually the most normal god here. Poseidon has issues, has trouble paying child support. Zeus is just arrogant. Hephaestus is kind of a weirdo. Hermes is kind of a deadbeat. Hades is really the only one that's kind of the most normal here, honestly. He's not intimidating. He's just normal looking.
Huh? Who tricked Ares into doing what? I'm not in cahoots with Ares. The bolt is my brother's drama. I don't want any part of it.
Then what do you want?
My helm!
Hades thinks Percy has the helm, but he doesn't. But he doesn't care about the bolt. But now he knows that Kronos is coming back. Now he wants the bolt. And then they leave. Ares shows up after some stupid reason, and they decide to fight one-on-one. Episode 8. Luke actually does teach Percy, just way earlier in the book. Like, way, way earlier. They do fight Ares. Ares just loses by cups of water being dropped on him. Or just the sea being dumped on him. And Percy cuts his ankle. That's kind of how it goes. They were actually on the shores of Los Angeles, not whatever this is. Is that Montauk? I don't know. He goes back to the apartment. Oh yeah, he leaves the helm behind. They return it. Percy returns the bolt. He goes back to the apartment. And in the books, oh my gosh, in the books, Sally Jackson is given an opportunity to finally divorce Gabe. She doesn't do that. She uses Medusa's head, stones him, and sells him. I'm pretty sure you just killed a man. That's first-degree murder, Sally. What the heck? I get he was an asshole, but, like, you could have just divorced him. Y'all didn't really have much to split anyways. Luke betrays, and he leaves like a little coward. In the books, however, there wasn't going to be a war. Luke was just practicing with Backbiter. Percy shows up. He shows up a can of Coca-Cola. He's like, hey, I'm out to go outside the dome, fights the monsters for practice. You want to join? Percy's like, of course I want to join. They talk for a bit. Percy thinks more about the prophecy and realizes that Luke is the lightning thief. After Luke realizes that, he summons a bunch of scorpions and tries to kill Percy. Yep. Percy's basically kind of killed and taken back to camp. He's told the truth. That's the whole thing. So, yeah. That's the show. Percy Jackson. What did I think of it? I thought it was pretty fun. Thought it was pretty interesting. I thought it was fine. As a show, I give it an 8 out of 10. It's not revolutionary. It's not really anything. It's just a more faithful book to it. It's more faithful to the actual book. As an adaptation, I give it an 8 out of 10. I get why they cut a lot of things out. Budget. They were given a $15 million budget, which kind of is the reason why Disney took so long to greenlight season 2. Everybody just kind of grew up. Well, almost everybody.
Last season was so crazy that Percy grew like a foot taller.
Yeah, your first summer at Camp Half-Blood will do that to you.
Not you, apparently.
Yeah, that's 2023 Percy Jackson. I'm not really sure what else to talk about. Besides whether or not if I liked the changes. I'm going to have to go through here real quick again. I didn't like how they did Gabe. He really was just a pushover. He really was just Starscream. He was nothing. Just easy to knock down real quick off his podium. Yeah. We got Hippie Oracle back. Glad that happened. I didn't mind the bus change. I didn't really mind the Electo, them knowing who Medusa immediately is. I really didn't mind that change. Oh, I guess I kind of, yeah, there's all that, this and that. I liked Hephaestus. I kind of liked how the train scene was done. The original reason why they went to the Ark was kind of boring, if I'm really being honest. I kind of like this better. I like the Prism a little bit better. It's a lot more accessible, a lot easier. One of the major changes I do not like was Hades. He was just a guy. Hades in the book was at least a little intimidating. Gods of the underworld are usually not given the best recognition. Half the time they're considered as horrible people, especially Anubis and Hades. Well, even though in the mythology, they kind of just minded their own business. They were just kind of doing their own thing. They didn't care what Zeus... They really didn't care what Zeus or Ra were doing. They were just minding their own business. However, in these adaptations, especially in the movie, they were kind of the villains. Even though they really weren't. Hades in this just wanted his helm back. I guess there isn't really much to talk about. Besides the fact that I'm not really sure. I will talk about my background, however. I think I already did explain. Well, I guess there's nothing... Well, that's it for the Lightning Thief. I guess what's next is Sea of Monsters. Well, I guess I'll see you next week.